All right, so get ready, because today we're diving deep, deep into the fascinating world of Dan Winter,
Oh, yeah.
a researcher who really doesn't shy away from blending science, consciousness, and even things like rejuvenation.
Yeah, he's definitely not your, typical scientist.
Not at all.
Publishing in peer-reviewed journals, this is not really his style, is it?
Yeah, we're talking about a conversational lecture here.
Right.
It's dense, complex ideas, terminology that spans from ancient flying machines to, well, the physics of bliss. So
Yeah, quite the range.
that's where we come in.
That's right.
We've gone through it all and tried to pull out the most interesting and impactful takeaways.
Yeah, think of it as your guide to the core
Yeah.
of Dan Winter's universe,
Okay.
where the shape of a vortex might actually create gravity, where ancient alphabets hold hidden power, and where rejuvenation might be possible through using specific frequencies.
Wow.
Oh, and did I mention time travel?
Time travel. Okay, now I'm really interested.
Yeah.
But let's start with the foundation of it all.
Sure.
The torus.
Right.
Winter sees these donut shapes everywhere, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy.
It's all about energy flow, like smoke rings nested perfectly inside each other.
Yeah.
And get this, our brains are torus-shaped too.
So our brains are shaped like these energy donuts.
Yeah.
What does that even mean for us?
Well, Winter suggests that the torus is like this key to understanding how energy actually moves and creates everything around us.
Okay.
And he takes it a step further, by linking the shape to ancient knowledge,
Okay.
particularly the Hebrew alphabet.
Really?
He believes that visualizing these letters can actually influence the energy flow within our brains.
Wait, so just by picturing a Hebrew letter in my mind, I can change the energy in my brain. How does that even work?
He believes that each Hebrew letter, when you visualize it, creates a specific tilt angle within the magnetic field of our torus-shaped brain. It's like each letter's a code, that interacts with this energy field.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the shape of the torus,
Right.
but about how we can consciously interact with this energy flow.
Precisely, yeah.
Okay.
And this idea of manipulating energy through shapes and symbols, it leads us to another really fascinating aspect of Winter's work.
All right.
His theories about ancient technologies.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
He talks about things like the Vimana, this ancient flying machine supposedly powered by a mercury vortex.
Right.
Is there any truth to these claims?
It's important to remember that Winter is, drawing connections between ancient myths and modern physics.
Okay.
With the Vimana, he points to the properties of Mercury and how it, behaves in a vortex.
Yeah.
Specifically, he claims that by spinning Mercury in a golden ratio spiral
There?
and adding the special purple liquid with iron particles, it's possible to generate gravity.
Purple liquid. That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it?
But is he saying we could actually build a flying machine based on this?
He claims to have created a device based on these principles that demonstrates impulse power, a way of generating a force without, traditional propulsion.
Wow.
It's a fascinating concept that, bridges these ancient stories
Yeah.
with our modern scientific understanding.
So he's taking these ancient ideas
Yeah.
and trying to ground them in real physics.
Exactly.
But he doesn't stop there, does he? He even talks about warp propulsion using quartz crystals.
Right. Winter delves into other potential technologies inspired by ancient knowledge. He suggests that quartz crystals, because of their unique structure and ability to resonate, could be used to manipulate space-time, potentially leading to faster-than-light travel.
It sounds like he's weaving together a whole new understanding of physics.
Yeah.
Blending ancient wisdom with modern concepts.
Exactly.
He sees a common thread running through these like seemingly disparate ideas. The importance of vortex dynamics, the golden ratio,
Yes.
and the manipulation of energy fields.
That's it.
Okay, so we've gone from the universe being made of donuts to the possibility of manipulating gravity with mercury and quartz crystals.
Quite a journey.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is, but keep in mind that Winter is trying to, show us this bigger picture.
Okay.
A universe where energy flows in specific patterns and shapes.
Yeah.
And where consciousness can potentially, interact with and influence these patterns.
It's a radical shift in perspective. But before we get too lost in the cosmos,
Sure.
let's bring it back down to Earth a bit.
Okay.
Winter also talks about rejuvenation and healing.
Right.
How does that fit into all of this?
That's where the concept of negentropy comes in.
Okay.
Basically the opposite of entropy, which is the tendency toward disorder, right?
Right.
Negentropy is about increasing order and complexity, moving towards greater coherence and harmony.
So how does this relate to rejuvenation? Is he saying we can reverse aging?
Winter believes that the key to rejuvenation lies in creating imploding vortices of energy.
Okay.
He argues that these imploding vortices, they create negentropy, leading to healing and even age reversal.
Now, I'm really curious.
Yeah.
How does he propose we create these imploding vortices? Is this something we can do ourselves?
This is where his therapy.net plasma technology comes in.
Okay.
Imagine two pine cones facing each other, their tips almost touching.
Yeah.
That's the basic setup for his device, which uses two plasma tubes to generate a field he believes is negentropic.
Two pine cones kissing noses. That's one way to put it. And this plasma field, what does it actually do?
Winter claims that this plasma acts almost like a living being,
Really?
you know, responding to intention and seeking out areas of imbalance in the body.
Wow.
He even describes it as like a pet puppy dog.
A pet puppy dog that heals you? That's definitely a new one.
It's a vivid image, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it highlights Winter's belief that consciousness and intention play a crucial role in shaping energy fields and influencing our health and well-being. This idea of intention is central to his work, and it ties into his concept of the fractal field.
Okay, so we've gone from donuts to ancient flying machines to plasma puppy dogs.
We have.
What exactly is this fractal field,
Right.
and how does it fit into all of this?
Think of a fractal field as a space where energy is perfectly balanced and distributed, creating a state of coherence and connection. Winter believes that these fields are essential for consciousness itself.
Wow.
And even for the survival of the soul after death.
So he's saying that these fractal fields are not just physical, but also spiritual.
That's right. He links these fields to sacred spaces, cathedrals, and even the human aura. He believes that creating these environments, both internally and externally, can enhance our connection to the universal energy flow and lead to greater well-being.
So we're not just talking about manipulating energy for technology or healing, but for connecting to something larger than ourselves.
Exactly. And this connection is key to understanding the rest of Winter's universe, including his ideas about dimensions, DNA, and the potential for time travel.
Oh, wow.
But we'll dive into that in the next part of our deep dive. You know, when we talk about, like, higher dimensions, it can sound pretty out there.
It does.
But Winter tries to ground these concepts in his understanding of physics.
Okay, like what does it even mean to say something is 5D? Is that even possible?
Winter describes dimensions as increasing levels of spin density and charge coherence. Imagine a simple cube. That's your classic 3D object.
Okay, yeah, I can visualize that.
Now tilt that cube 32 degrees and start rotating it.
Right.
You get a more complex shape called a dodecahedron, which Winter associates with the fourth dimension because it adds, you know, another layer of spin and complexity.
So as we go up in dimensions, the shapes and energy patterns become more intricate.
Exactly. And he takes it even further, you know, suggesting that our DNA itself is a fifth-dimensional structure because of its double helix shape and the way it braids together. This creates an even higher level of spin density and charge coherence.
So our DNA is literally a higher dimensional object.
That's what he's saying.
That's pretty mind-blowing, but what does that actually mean for us?
Right.
Can we tap into this higher dimensional aspect of our DNA?
Winter believes we can.
Okay.
He suggests that by braiding the DNA even further, potentially through practices like meditation or focused intention, we could reach even higher dimensions, like the 12th dimension. And in this dimension, he proposes the DNA becomes toroidal or donut-shaped.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Time travel through braiding our DNA. Now, that sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It does have that sci-fi feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, is there any scientific basis for this, or is it purely theoretical?
It's important to acknowledge that Winter's ideas are often, you know, on the fringes of scientific thought. There's no, like, concrete evidence to support time travel through DNA braiding.
Okay.
But he grounds his theories in his understanding of charge compression and coherence, suggesting that, you know, manipulating these forces within our bodies could have profound effects.
So even if we can't hop into a time machine just yet, he's suggesting that our DNA holds a lot more potential than we realize.
Absolutely. Winter sees DNA as this bridge between the physical and the energetic, capable of interacting with and influencing the fabric of reality in ways we're just beginning to understand.
This is all starting to sound a bit like those Stargate movies where people travel through wormholes.
Oh, yeah.
Is Winter saying those could actually be real?
He doesn't shy away from the idea. He proposes that strong emotions can imprint themselves onto the fabric of space-time, creating energetic markers that could be accessed through these stargates or portals.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
If I had a really powerful emotional experience in a specific location,
Right.
it could leave a trace that someone could potentially travel to through time.
That's the concept.
Wow.
He also links this to the importance of lucid dreaming, which he sees as a way to develop, the coherence and awareness needed to navigate these dimensions and potentially even retain memories after death.
Whoa, hold on. Retain memories after death. Is he suggesting that our consciousness could survive the death of the physical body and travel through these stargates?
That's what Winter proposes.
Oh.
He believes that death is a form of rejuvenation, where our consciousness or aura detaches from the physical body and seeks out other fractal fields like sacred spaces or places of power.
This is really pushing the boundaries of what we typically think of as reality.
It is.
So those ancient cultures that built elaborate tombs and temples, were they trying to create these fractal fields to help souls transition after death?
It's an intriguing possibility.
It is.
Winter suggests that these structures, often aligned with Earth's magnetic lines, could act as amplifiers for these coherent energy fields, facilitating a smoother transition for the soul.
Okay, so we've got these stargates scattered throughout the universe, potentially accessible through heightened consciousness or intense emotional experiences.
Yeah.
But how do they actually work? What opens these portals in space-time?
Winter believes that the key lies in understanding longitudinal waves. These are waves that travel faster than light and can be influenced by consciousness. He suggests that these waves are the mechanism behind Stargate activation, creating a vortex of energy that opens a pathway through dimensions.
So it's not just about finding a physical Stargate, but about developing the internal coherence and awareness to manipulate these subtle energies.
Exactly.
That's pretty empowering.
It is. Winter even draws a parallel between shamans and AI.
Really?
Suggesting that artificial intelligence might need to, learn from shamans in order to truly understand the soul, which he defines as longitudinal coherence.
That's a fascinating thought, that even advanced AI might need to tap into ancient wisdom traditions to grasp the nature of consciousness.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes you wonder what else is possible if we can harness the power of these subtle energies.
That's a question Winter encourages us to explore. He sees this deep connection between our inner state and our ability to interact with the universe, suggesting that practices like lucid dreaming, meditation, and cultivating emotional coherence can enhance our connection to the fractal field and unlock hidden potentials.
So if we're able to cultivate this inner coherence, what kind of abilities might we unlock?
Winter proposes that these practices could lead to heightened intuition, enhanced creativity, increased healing abilities, and even the possibility of influencing events in the physical world through intention.
So we're not just talking about personal growth here,
Right.
but about potentially impacting the world around us in a positive way.
Exactly. Winter believes that as we awaken to the power of our own consciousness and its connection to the universal energy field, we can become active participants in shaping a more harmonious and coherent reality.
This is all incredibly intriguing, but it's a lot to process. We've gone from the structure of the universe to time travel.
Quite a journey.
From ancient technologies to the power of consciousness.
Yeah.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, Winter's work doesn't stop there.
Okay.
He delves even further into the nature of consciousness and its connection to bliss, exploring how we can cultivate a state of joy and connection through understanding these principles.
Okay, now that's something I can get behind. Who doesn't want more bliss in their life?
That's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive into Dan Winter's universe.
Great.
We'll uncover his insights on the physics of bliss and how we can tap into that power within ourselves.
So we've explored some pretty mind-bending ideas, right? From the universe being made of donuts to the possibility of time travel. But now let's talk about something a little bit more down to earth. Bliss.
Bliss, yeah.
How does that fit into Winter's, grand scheme of things?
Well, Winter sees bliss not just as a fleeting emotional state,
Right.
but as like this fundamental aspect of reality,
Okay.
a state of heightened coherence and connection to, the universal energy flow. He even talks about the physics of bliss,
Okay.
suggesting that there's a scientific basis for experiencing, joy and interconnectedness.
I'm intrigued. So it's not just about feeling happy,
No.
but about aligning with some deeper energetic principle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Winter believes that when we experience bliss, our energy field, or aura, becomes more coherent
Yeah.
and resonates with the fractal patterns of the universe.
Okay.
He even links this to brainwave activity,
Right.
suggesting that there's a specific brainwave pattern associated with bliss that aligns with the golden ratio.
Hold on. The golden ratio,
Yeah.
that mathematical concept found in nature and art, what does that have to do with brainwaves and bliss?
Winter sees the golden ratio as like this fundamental organizing principle of the universe, this blueprint for harmony and beauty.
Okay.
He believes that when our brainwaves align with this ratio, we tap into a state of greater coherence and connection,
Okay.
leading to a feeling of, profound peace and joy.
So it's like our brains are literally tuning in to the harmony of the cosmos.
That's the idea.
That's pretty amazing. But how do we actually achieve this golden ratio brainwave state? Is it just a matter of meditating more?
Winter suggests that practices like meditation, mindfulness, and even spending time in nature can help cultivate this state of coherence. He also mentions a website called flaminmind.com, where you can actually measure your brainwave patterns and see how they align with the golden ratio.
So we can actually use technology to see if our brains are in a blissful state. That's pretty wild.
It is, but it's not just about, internal practices.
Right.
Winter also talks about the importance of our external environment.
Okay, so it's like creating a sanctuary
Yeah.
for our energy field, both internally and externally.
Exactly.
It makes sense that our surroundings would impact our, internal state.
Right.
But if we're able to achieve this state of bliss, what does that actually do for us? Is it just about feeling good, or is there something more to it?
Winter believes that bliss is not just a feel-good state, but like a gateway to higher consciousness and a more fulfilling life.
Right.
He suggests that when we're in a blissful state,
Yeah.
our intuition becomes sharper, our creativity flows more freely, and we become more connected to our true purpose and potential.
So it's like bliss amplifies our abilities.
Exactly.
And helps us live a more meaningful life.
That's the idea. He even suggests that experiencing bliss can enhance our ability to influence reality, to manifest our desires, and to create positive change in the world.
That's a powerful idea. So we're not just talking about personal happiness here, but about tapping into a force that can shape our lives and the world around us.
That's right. Winter sees bliss as a bridge between the personal and the collective, a way to connect with something larger than ourselves and contribute to a more harmonious and joyful reality.
This has been an incredible deep dive,
It has.
exploring concepts that range from the structure of the universe to the power of our own consciousness.
It really is mind-expanding, isn't it?
It definitely challenged my perspective on reality and the potential that lies within each of us.
I think that's the beauty of exploring these ideas.
Yeah.
It really opens up new ways of seeing the world and ourselves.
Absolutely. And I encourage our listeners to, keep exploring Dan Winter's work.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Dive deeper into his ideas about the torus, the fractal field, and the power of intention.
Experiment with practices like meditation and visualization. Pay attention to the energy you're putting out into the world.
It's like he's given us a whole new set of lenses through which to view the world, one that emphasizes connection, coherence, and the power of our own consciousness.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It is a bit overwhelming.
But also incredibly exciting.
It is. So to our listeners, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep expanding your own understanding of reality.
Who knows what amazing discoveries await you on your journey.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Dan Winter's universe.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep embracing the infinite possibilities
that exist within and all around you.